Boy, has that special intro never been so special as right now. With me right here is Michael from Retroblasting. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you?
It's amazing to have you here. I'm doing really good. I got some toys I want to open up,
Uh-huh.
and I'm gonna talk about them with you. Before we do get into that, I do want to say right now, Robert Meyer Burnett produced this movie. If you can see it without it being all there, we go. Hills Run Red. You can get that right now on Amazon from Scream Factory. Robert's our good friend. Check that out if you haven't yet. But yeah, let's see what we got here. First, we're going to talk about some aliens and some Ghostbusters. But other than that, before we do get into that, for those of you who are listening who may not know who Michael is, shame on you. But if you don't, Michael, of course, is from Retroblasting, as I said. And why don't you tell the folks out there a little bit about Retroblasting?
Yeah, Retroblasting is it's an 8-year-old YouTube channel that deconstructs in a not in a snark, not in an elitist way, but in a realistic, objective way, all of the entertainment of the Generation X experience. And so my background and my rearing was in that age of the late 70s through the 80s. And so I look at all of these things I'm cursed with a razor sharp memory for those times and my childhood experiences. And so I kind of look at everything like the toys, the cartoons, the TV shows, the merch through that objective lens of memory, but with objectivity and, calling things out for what they were, whether they were good, bad, or mediocre. And that's what Retroblasting has always been. So
yeah, and you guys do a great job over there. I remember specifically the Star Trek stuff you guys worked on. That helped us immensely with some of the toy stuff. I found your channel, gosh, probably at least 5, maybe 6 years ago. Early on, I remember watching, I think either a Ninja Turtle or Ghostbuster video.
Yes.
Ironically enough, would have been the first one I found. So yeah, it kind of leads us perfectly into what we're going to talk about today. For those who may not know out there, Walmart is carrying a new line of the original Ghostbusters, from the real Ghostbusters, I should say. Here's one of them now. We're going to break these open. I've got all of them here. I've got Slimer. I've got the whole crew. We're going to do those. And also I have another one from a little while back that came out. This one we're going to open first because this one's it's just a super size. But I think you can tell me a little bit about this, Michael.
Yes, the controversial alien figure from Kenner. That I guess they've kind of re-released it or released a version of it. A version of it, yeah, that sort of is an homage to the second film, I guess.
Yeah. So, can you give us just a little history on this while I open it up?
Yeah, the alien figure from Kenner in 1979 was supposed to be kind of the flagship of a whole line of figures and toys based on the Alien movie from 79 with Sigourney Weaver. And very rapidly, people realized that a rated R horror sci-fi was probably not the best platform for a kid's toy line. And so the intended action figures did not get made. But this one large action figure based on the alien from the film was made. And apparently this homage piece replicates from what you showed on the box and the retooled design of the figure. It looks to be a sort of sequel update of that original figure and the logo and livery on the original box. Looks pretty sharp. The original figure had sort of a clear plastic shell that would go over his head, which was part of the original design. Now, this is, I think, based on the second film, if I'm not mistaken. So they must have updated that, which looks sharp.
Oops, I've got to go this way. There we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's not too bad. It's a little sturdy. Full disclosure, I did open this one before, but there wasn't much holding it in, so it's not like you're missing much. But yeah, that's about the only difference, like you said, is as you can see here, the head is a much more of the aliens design with, if I can get up here, like the ridges.
Yep.
And the more simplified neck area and shoulder area. I believe it was a little bit more complicated in the original one. Because of course, speaking of the film, they made the costumes a little bit more simplified for the stunt people to work in, if I remember correctly, was the reason.
Right.
So they weren't. Oh, there's a little bit another point of articulation there. So we've got 1, 6, 7, 8 points of articulation, I guess. So not too bad for a big 12-inch-ish figure. I think it's around the size. I'd say it's actually a little bigger than 12, but I think it's roughly that size because I have Ninja Turtles and it's close to that. But
it almost looks like it could be about like the size of like a vintage Kenner Chewbacca. It might be about 14 to 15 inches tall. I don't know. It's hard to judge from here.
And I don't have my tape measure or one of my turtles handy at this point.
Tom, you should always have your tape measure.
I know.
Geekily clipped.
We'll compare it to Mr. Stay Puffed.
That reminds me, when you start bringing these up, I should probably have my childhood originals right here to compare with.
There is some differences. So it's funny you bring that up.
I've got them right here in the case. How about I grab them and have them on hand? All right. So just yes.
While you're doing that, I'll bring up a little bit of the differences or talk a little bit about why they're different.
Awesome. I'll grab them. They're literally right here.
Okay. Yeah. The reason is they resculpted all these. These are not the original molds from back in the original Kenner days. So try and get all these on screen here while Michael's doing that. And hopefully everybody out there is doing well today. I haven't had a chance to say hi to everybody. How you doing, Ords? I seen you there. Neil, how you doing? Zacharat, Severin, Tekkaman Blade, how you guys doing? But yeah, so these are not exact replicas of the original because they did remold them. And as we go through, we may talk about some of the differences. I'm sure Michael will know a little bit more about those.
Sorry about that. Just wanted to make sure I added value to this discussion.
No, you're adding a lot more value than you realize. This was just going to be me breaking open the toys and just joking around with everybody. Now it's actually a discussion.
Oh, so I ruined it.
No. You actually.
It was going to be Cash, and then Michael showed up.
No, I lost Peter somewhere. That's not good.
Well, there's something you don't see every day.
Exactly. He was here.
Well, this is the original Peter. This is the original Peter for those who. This is actually my childhood original. He would have been my second childhood original Peter because my Proton stream broke a few days after owning my first one. This little handle right here broke off on the back. But then I bought another one and realized I needed to keep kid gloves on it. And I'm proud to say I've kept him intact since 1986.
Matt G sent us a $1.49 super sticker. Thank you, sir. Yeah, that's actually in your video from what I recall.
Yep.
So speaking of Peter, I found him.
Oh, excellent.
Let's break them open here. Now, I know the cards, I think they're a little bit bigger than the original cards. At least they feel that way, but not. I don't think it's just a nostalgia thing. I think they're actually laid out a little differently from what I recall. I don't know if you can remember.
I do have the card backs. Okay. They were obviously oversized compared to say a Kenner or GI Joe because of this, or Star Wars or GI Joe because of the size of the figure, but they reconfigured or re-graphicked the cards and made the backgrounds purple later for like a second wave or second, I guess what you call a second run of those figures. Okay. And those figures can be identified with the yellow nylon cord going into the cyclotron of the pack rather than the very bottom.
And this goes into the
cyclotron, whereas this one right here, you can see goes into the bottom of the pack, which is interesting then that they would, what they've done essentially is they've copied the revised version of the Proton Pack accessory, but they've copied the card back of the original release, which is blue rather than purple.
And I guess this is a redone art print too. I guess it's not quite exactly.
Oh,
I don't know if you can tell.
It's pretty close. I know that they redid the artwork kind of for the GI Joe 25th anniversary figures years ago. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did some sort of Photoshop job on those.
I've heard quite a few people say that already. Yeah. How many people opened these and they broke their Proton packs when they
right? It was like diffusing a bomb trying to get those things open without breaking them. I mean,
that's what I'm trying to do.
And I don't know how I managed it, but like this is my original Egon and my original Winston. Which way am I supposed to go this? Winston. And they are also completely intact.
Now, is your Winston starting to discolor, or is that just the lighting?
That's just the lighting.
Okay.
The lighting in here's weird.
Okay. Because I know some of them had problems with the molding, the spotties.
My figures. I have had real Ghostbusters figures that came through here that had that cancer, that kind of molding, the mold inside the plastic. Mine, knock on wood, do not have that issue.
Now, looking at it, I can tell I mean, the rubber itself is a little bit more flexible than I remember the originals being. The likeness is uncanny, though. I mean, it's pretty darn close. You can tell they're a little bit different, but just barely. Like, I know for a fact, like, this is different on the back. That for sure is different.
We can compare. Let's do a real-time comparison. Here is the there we go.
If you can catch the light.
You know what I can do? I can probably grab a light or something. I probably
if not. But the difference is how it sets in there.
Right.
And then there's two little divots. The two little divots are just a little bit different, I believe, is how it says. But it's very, very, very similar otherwise.
Yeah.
And the only other difference is the copyright is not in the same spot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not on his butt anymore. It's on his bottom of his shoe.
Oh, interesting. Because my copyright here is right above the waist belt, right on the back above the waist belt.
Or on the butt. Oh, yeah, it's above the butt. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's on the bottom. You can't see it, but it says 2020 Columbia Pictures.
Nice.
2020.
I mean, these do look
CPN, but yeah.
From what I've seen, their ability to replicate these has been far superior to their Star Wars retro collection.
That's what I've heard, yeah. And I did get the Ninja Turtle ones from a while back, and I know those are play they're not the same, but they're the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
And those weren't the original molds either, I don't think. Same kind of deal. Whoop.
So
threw my ghost down on the floor.
Oh, as long as it wasn't the proton pack, you're fine.
No, it's just the ghost. They feel so small compared to my memory.
Well, it's like when you revisit your elementary school, the seats that used to feel big, they look small.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, here's this little guy here.
Yep.
I know they're remolded too, I believe.
You know what? Let me grab mine. We'll find out. It's right over there.
Yeah. And while Michael's doing that, I'm going to try and get the proton pack out of here, guys. Jesse, to answer your question, they're about $14.99 at Walmart right now, and my local one, and so you guys aren't freaking out, I actually bought two, not that it really matters, but they had a buttload of them, so I wouldn't worry about coming across them. The only ones that I've had a hard time coming across more than one of has been Slimer and Stay Puft. For some reason, I don't know if they did as many of those or what, or if they just haven't got them all out there yet. But some Walmarts put them out early, like last month, and then they weren't supposed to be out till this month, but now they're like everywhere as far as I know. So, but all right. So Michael was back, and then he had to go, so he'll be back. I'll try and get the proton pack in here. That fits nicely. So now you're back again.
I decided that I absolutely had to find a way to get a makeshift light here. So I've grabbed my phone so that maybe this will work. I will hold it like that.
That might work. A little bit. Yeah. Yours is much lighter than mine. I can tell just from the look of it right now. That's a much darker tone. I mean, of course, it could just be the age of it, but I think that's a little bit different. The one thing I did notice with the hand here, the proton thing sits in there much better.
Oh, does it?
Does. Oh yeah. Like
I put this pack. I locked it onto his back about 6 years ago, and I've never undone it since because I just don't want to risk that bracket breaking anymore.
Yeah, and I think they've improved that a little bit here. That feels like it goes in so much easier. And when I slid this on his hand, it's in there, and it feels like it's in there. Like I can.
Right.
Yeah, it slid right nicely in there. I mean, these still feel like the same flimsy material.
Oh yeah. You know
That's
what?
the only downside.
I wish that they were like truly flimsy because they're only flimsy enough to succumb to their brittleness, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, chintzy is the better word. Then.
Yeah.
I agree with you there. If I can get him to stand up here without falling over, that is appearing to be an issue. That's one thing I've noticed with a lot of these modern toys compared to when we were kids. I mean, some of them had issues then too, but like my Ninja Turtles don't want to stand at all.
Right.
And I know the originals never did.
Yeah, the originals are, once you get them in that one pose they can stand in, you just have to like tiptoe by them all the time. Like mine, if you can see, I'm turning the camera here. My 4 are up there, right there.
Yep.
And they're all standing, but like I treat them like fine china, so they won't fall over.
If the wind blows, they're gonna be up for long.
Exactly.
All right, let's move on to Egon here. This one was actually a hard bugger to find. Egon's a popular character, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm. I heard that the Diamond Select Egon Real Ghostbusters was a real pain in the butt and went up for high prices when it sold out.
Yeah, this one I found when in my first venture, somebody had went in and bought an extra Egon or something, or just bought Egon, because there was a full set and then a set without Egon.
Oh, wow.
So that I did a search for Egon, and then I finally got one when they got more. But that's kind of why I waited to do this till now. But it just so happened everything worked out. So here we are. And Peter fell over.
Oh, gosh. Is that Proton Stream okay?
It is. I mean, maybe they got a little bit better material, but I don't know. I don't want to bend it too much.
Yeah, don't bend it. I'm just saying, observe it and make sure.
These are more for me to kind of just play with and find out. But like I said, I do have another set.
That's a very good attitude to have, Tom. Very good attitude to have.
So that's where it's like, if something, but you're right. This shit's way too close to the edge. All right, we're gonna just do this, like Michael.
It's the only way I found where it could stay safe and you could also stand the figure up.
There we go. That actually went in pretty easy once I got it.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say there's a little bit of improvement there. The standing, though, not improved at all.
Oh, wow.
In fact, if anything, that's a downgrade, because I do remember these guys not having as much of a problem standing.
Oh, yeah. These guys, mine stand in the display. They're some of the best standers I have.
Wow. Yeah. That is like nostalgia and a half right there.
Oh, Egon?
He feels perfect. Man, they got him really good. Whoops, a little too much light on mine. Maybe
there's not enough light on mine.
Well, I got this extra light up here, and I think it's too much. I think it is. Yeah, there we go.
So this is the 1984 one, right, or 86 one right here.
Yeah, and just the minor differences in the colors.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, I know you can't see it. Dang it.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can. This will help. Maybe not. No, that didn't help at all because it's the screen. Well, that's a little better. Come on.
I really respect you for being able to stare right into the sun, Tom. I think that's a superpower.
I know, right? No, it's really just my screen is that bright. Mm-hmm. No, it's really close actually. The head's a little wonky, but again, just the more flimsier feeling. Mm-hmm. Like I don't remember being able to do like that.
You know, they said that the limbs on the newest Empire Strikes Back retro collection figures are like that. They have a little bit more of a rubbery feel. So I don't know what Hasbro's decided to do with their plastics.
Who didn't do that the first thing out the box?
I know. Yeah, that's he's right there. So the original. Yep. Looks like they pretty much nailed these ghosts. I mean, they're all but the same.
They do look a little different in color, but again, that's probably just a difference in the type of plastic they used. I don't know. They don't really have a smell or nothing. I can't really tell you what they.
Yeah.
But no, they're pretty darn accurate. I got to give them credit for these.
They looked sharp. I mean, they really did. I had some friends, other YouTubers who found them at Walmart, and they sent me pictures asking me, "Hey, I found an extra set. Do you want these?" And I was like, I don't know if I have a justification to do so, because I have the fortunate benefit of having all 4 intact near mint from when I was a kid,
Right.
and other people don't have that benefit anymore. So I feel like I need to leave them on the pegs for others who don't have them anymore. And so I just passed.
Well, I think there was a false sense of scarcity because some Walmarts screwed up and put them out early.
Mm.
And that's what I ran into. And as soon as that happened, there was a bunch of people selling them on eBay for, $40 and stuff like that a piece.
Right.
And again, like now I went in and they've got probably 6 sets of them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like I got an Egon right away, no problem. And my buddy went and bought me one too. He's like, I got you that Egon. I'm like, so did I.
Well, that's funny because they keep saying that the Boba Fett keeps selling out from
That one does, yes. And I do have a Yoda somewhere, but I don't know if I got him in vicinity, but we'll save him for next time. Maybe I'll get some more of those if we do this again. But yeah, I did hear that too about the same thing with the retro. I don't know if you heard anything else other than that about him, but
I just heard that Boba Fett kept selling out. He was like the hot ticket item. And I'm like, why? Like, there's plenty of Boba Fetts across all the different lines, including vintage, unless, Toy Galaxy finally bought them all up and we can't get vintage ones anymore. So,
right, like we were talking about, I think that was on that High Council you were on that time where we were talking about, like, at this point you almost have to pick a character.
mm-hmm.
You can't just pick a star or a movie, maybe, and even that's too much.
It is too much. Yeah. I could have an entire house filled with just Empire Strikes Back toys and still be out of room. Like, it wouldn't matter.
Well, and I remember seeing a video on a guy who was had like the most Darth Vader stuff in the world and all that stuff like that. And it's just like you get to a point where it's just like you said, how can you justify some of that after a while? I mean, it was one thing back in the day when we only had, so many things.
Yeah.
But now there's so many especially since Disney.
Sure.
I mean, you could just walk into your local Walmart and everything's got Star Wars on it.
Yeah.
I will say they did package these pretty well. Not horrible to open, but not like falling out of the box. So if you're somebody who wants to have these on the wall, unlike the Funko reactions, if somebody knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I've got, I don't know how many of those where the boxes showed up and the figure was out of the box.
Wow.
Because I have, ticked off about that still. But, once I get into those, sorry, I was trying to turn the mic off when I'm doing this. Now, this is one that I think was different from the original. Oops, we were starting.
No, that's fine. Sorry, I thought you want to talk about the ghost. Let's talk about the ghost.
Yeah. Because now the bottom of your ghost, I believe, is solid, is it not?
Yes.
On this
the bottom of my ghost is solid.
This one isn't. Now, again, it's to save on plastic. Probably does it need to be solid? Not really. Now, was that one that had a hard time standing up though?
Not really. He stands up pretty well.
Because it almost seems like the hollow part helps him stand up. He's not really standing on his toes. Oh, you can't really see it here, but
well, here I'll do it like this. Watch.
Yeah. Oh yeah, never mind. I was thinking maybe they did it as an improvement, but overall, then I guess I don't see it for any other reason than to just save on some plastic.
Maybe it's a weight savings for their shipments.
That actually is probably more than anything. You're right. That's a good point. I'm not going to get into Winston's thing yet. He's got the fist.
Nice. Yeah, Winston always had the closed fist.
Is it weirder that I think mine is at a little bit? This newer one looks like it's almost more in the kind of angle than the other one. But
every time I saw pictures of the new Hasbro re-releases, I thought that maybe they had sort of stuck his chin out a little more. But he looks
it does look like a little bit.
It looks close, man.
Pretty close though. Very close.
They really seem to have nailed.
Oops, I got it the wrong angle. But
they seem to have really nailed this figure sculpt. I don't know how.
Pretty close.
I mean, how did they manage this and bungle the Star Wars re-release back in 2018 or whatever it was?
I don't know. No, I mean his head is in a little bit different position, but it looks.
Yeah, but it's by microns. It's not. It's not.
Again, and I heard they're going to be doing more of these since they're doing so well.
Oh, are they going to come out with some of the other things like? re-release Screaming Heroes and Fright features and all that stuff?
They might, and some of the other ghosts, I guess, too, maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if they do the Station House and probably an Ecto.
What?
It'd be nice if they did, because, I mean, they did for the He-Man sets.
Hasbro was going to revisit a playset?
That'd be nice if they did. I don't know. It'd be nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think that'd be awesome.
I know. Cross my fingers. Yeah. But I know the He-Man, the Grayskull, the new one is worth more than the original.
Oh yeah. That's the weird thing about the Masters of the Universe stuff, is that unlike almost every other toy line that has a vintage and a modern counterpart, the Masters of the Universe Matty Collector stuff went through the roof in value and leapt over the old vintage values within like 2 or 3 years. And it's never gone back down. And it's just like, okay, well, if you want to collect Masters of the Universe for value, you might as well just collect Matty Collector and not even worry about the vintage stuff. I mean,
right?
Except for maybe Scareglow.
Because I was gonna open the Masters Classics movie line ones, and now I'm thinking it, because they might go up in price so much. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Now, Ray, I had a bit of a hard time getting him out of the package compared to the rest of them, but maybe that's just because Ray's had a few too many Twinkies. So we'll put Ray there. And he's got his little purple ghost guy, which looks just like the... Oh, there goes the proton pack on me. Or the stream, I should say. Yeah, it looks pretty much like the original. Not much difference there.
And let me grab him right here. And sorry, Ghost.
My bad. I did it to you backwards again.
That's fine. Let me put my
a little
light
lighter.
Let me put my light on him. There he is.
Boy, pretty faithful though.
Yeah,
pretty faithful. He actually seems a little bit more defined in the new one on this one, if anything. But maybe that's just because it's a darker, like it's a purplish, dark purple, like Prince purple.
Yeah.
Oh, and that one don't want to stand up. That one still don't want to stand up. I don't think this one ever did. No, he's not going to stand up at all for me. These proton packs, I don't like how they got them in. They're a little tougher to get out. But once you get it, it's like diffusing a bomb. I mean, it's. Let's see here. I'll put it on this one here. I mean, I like how they look. They're very clean looking. In the package at first, I wasn't too impressed. I kind of thought their features looked a little muted.
Right.
Now looking at them outside of the package, I don't think so. I think they look pretty good. I mean, of course, the stupid lighting I got here. Oh, you got Ray up there?
Oh, sorry. I thought you'd opened Ray.
No. I got Ray right here. Don't be sorry to me. Here we go. If I could get the proper lighting. There we go. A little better.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like his hair might be a little more orange than the original.
Yeah, he is a little brighter. Like the colors, I do notice like a little bit lighter color. But that was the same thing with the turtles.
You're right.
They were the proper color, but it's just that little bit off brightness, probably because of the softer plastic.
Right.
He doesn't want to hold on to his proton pack as well as Peter did and the other ones. I don't like. We'll try that on the left hand.
It might be because his hand has always been like the slimmest.
There, it fits better on the left hand. So we're gonna make Ray left-handed.
Yeah. Well, that stands to reason because his right hand is the smallest and slimmest out of all four.
I think Dan Aykroyd might be left-handed in real life. I think he's mentioned that before for some reason.
I'm trying to remember what his pack configuration looked like in the film, because that would make sense.
I just accidentally made you full screen.
I saw that. I was like,
I was moving the pack.
I'm like, so let's see.
I got all four of them here. If I can actually get them on screen, I'm gonna push this guy back.
Wow, if he was left-handed in real life, he faked a right-handed motion because
He might be right-handed. I could be wrong.
Because his proton pack is still a right-handed config.
But the real Ghostbuster, we're going to make him left-handed.
I think that's fair. We've heard enough about head cannon. Let's talk about hand cannon.
That could be taken several ways.
I know. Yeah, that's what I do.
Now they're all standing pretty good here. So I take back that first complaint. I did have to bend Egon back a bit, though.
Yeah. How does it feel to finally have the 4 guys again from the original line? I mean, because they look sharp. I mean, they look as close as any official reproduction I've ever seen.
So this one's. I'll try to move it. Whoop.
Whoop.
I was trying to get them all on screen. There we go. Yeah, I mean. Oh, wow. It's like I'm 6 again, man. I got some more Ghostbusters back there. That might be next time.
Plasma? Yeah.
Yep. Because I don't know if we're going to go that long because we're already half hour in and I haven't even touched Slimer Stay Puft yet. This guy I had as well when I was a kid. And I'm sure this is pretty, from what I remember, outside of a little bit different in the face, it's pretty similar from what I know.
Oh, from Stay Puft? I got him. Let me grab him.
This was one when I was a kid. I looked and looked and looked and never could find in a store. Got a smelling. No, I was just saying, this is one when I was a kid I could never find in the store.
Oh, really?
But I finally found it at a rummage sale later on.
Yeah.
Many years later. Oh, wow, he's pretty close.
Yeah.
Well, of course, he's pretty. I think the arms are down more, though.
It might be because mine are maybe.
Oh.
I mean, I can turn mine up with,
Yeah, let's see how they look when they're up all the way. I mean, if anything, it's just minor difference. Yeah. Yeah, just a minor difference. Mine are a little bit more up. There we go. Yeah. Not too much. I mean, he feels roughly the same. His legs don't move, right? Just as
no, his legs do not move.
I don't think they ever did. Yeah. But no, I like him. This was always one, like I said, when I was a kid, and one I never could find when I was a kid.
Well, what's funny to me is I remember avoiding that.
Boy.
Oh, I know. They made Slimer way too big, and they made Stay Puft way too small. And it was like, what are you doing? Like, I never could figure that out.
Well, and I do think the toys are more based along the lines of that original Screen Test, where Slimer does look a bit scarier, and he's got the long tail and stuff.
Right.
But so I'm sure they had to design these at the same time as they were animating the show, working on all that. So I'm sure there was not much crossover until probably like the second season. But I could be wrong. Wow, I've never had this guy.
He was the only other thing I had from the line besides the 4 Ghostbusters, and then I stopped.
So we got the rubber stake. Oh, there he is. Pull him out here. Oh, his arms up. Well, they did a pretty good job on him.
Yeah, I think the black pupils in your eyes might be a little smaller than the vintage, but other than that, I don't see a difference.
No, I don't. Maybe the tongue a little?
Maybe.
That could just be the coloring, too, like you said.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if they use the same mold, but it looks dang close.
And you were talking about that that plastic cancer that happens. I have two of these. I have 2 of these Slimers, and they're made out of that like My Little Pony vinyl.
Yep.
And mine's starting to get some. See that discoloration on the top of his head?
Yep.
Yeah, it happens. But
Hey, I like this guy.
like he's got it on his tail too, real bad.
Ugh, that one you can really see.
But again, I'll have to go look at my other one and see. Oh wait, some of that was dirt. Never mind.
I didn't have him, so I can't really compare when I was a kid. What I did have was they had a bike horn thing with Slimer. It was pretty close to this design, but the bike horn went through his mouth.
Oh wow!
He had a hole in the back of his head. So otherwise, though, it was pretty close to this one.
Yeah.
It was probably the same mold or close to it, but they based it off that mold or whatever. I mean, wow, his tail moves on yours too, right?
Yep. My tail moves. It's got a.
That's pretty cool. I like that because in either position, it looks good.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a rarity for toys. So
it was just weird to me how he was so huge.
Yeah,
and
compared to the other ones.
Stay Puft was so small, and I'm going, what? I remember as a kid just being like, why is Stay Puft not bigger? And why is Slimer bigger than every Ghostbuster? What happened?
Yeah, it never made much sense to me either.
Later on in the line, they actually made a Slimer that looked like the cartoon animation, and he was only about like this big.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's late in the game, and he's made a hard plastic as well.
I suppose he's hard to find.
He's a little harder to find, yeah. Kind of like the Wily Kit and Wily Cat on the surfboards rather than the pack-ins.
No, I think they're pretty nice. If somebody wants to invest the money, I mean, if you look at it for the whole lot, you'll spend close to $100. But I mean, I thought it was worth it.
Right.
I mean, with tax, it's probably a little over 100.
Yeah, I'd happily run out tomorrow and pick up the 4 guys if I didn't already have them in my because they look so close.
They do.
They really do look like a perfect recreation. And because those proton streams were always so fragile, so many people their childhood figures did not survive. So there's a lot of people out there that want that experience again. And let's face it, you want the 4 original guys. You don't want the Slimed Heroes version or the Ecto Glow or Fright Features. You want those 4.
Yeah, I think I had 1 or 2 of the Fright Features maybe, and that was it.
Yeah, those are great. They really do. They really do. That right there to me is where Hasbro has done something right, where they're filling a need and they're filling a hole that a lot of people have in their collections that they can't eBay to correct. It's just not
cost you a lot to do. Yeah,
it would cost you a lot, and there's not nearly enough to go around because of the fragility of the accessories. So
yeah, and then not only that, I mean, well, with the rot we've talked about and a few other things too. Yeah. So yeah, if you, as far as I know, right now these are, and then this is not a plug in any way for Walmart. They just happen to be Walmart exclusives. So as far as I know, check out your local Walmart if you're looking for them. They should have them. They've been pretty widely available now, even though they weren't earlier. The Alien, you may have a little bit harder time finding. I know Big Bad Toy Store still had it, and they actually have variations of it. This is not the only one there is. There's a gold, a green, a red, I think, and maybe 1 or 2 other different color variations. A brown one too, I believe. So yeah, there's actually a couple different ones of those. But yeah, last I knew, Big Bad Toy Store still had them, but I'm sure you can find them a few other places too.
Nice.
But yeah, so next time though, if we do this again, I'll probably crack into those and I'll try and find that Yoda. I bought Yoda, and maybe I'll buy a few more of the other vintage Kenner ones, and we can talk a little bit about those. And yeah, this is definitely something I want to do again because this
absolutely. Yeah, I always love talking toys. I'm not really a huge collector of toys or anything, but I like talking about them.
Not at all. You don't collect any toys.
I don't. I'm also not really used to being on camera, but I'm trying to grow in those areas. I'm trying to be a better.
Yeah, you just got a little YouTube channel you're working on, and
just No, I'd love to do this again. This is the kind of stuff that I enjoy. This is the kind of stuff I love. So,
well, yeah. So, I mean, we can take a few minutes to talk about other things other than just necessarily toys per se. I mean,
sure.
Is there anything that you guys are working on over there that you want to talk about, or you got coming up?
Yeah, I'm actually working on a thought piece coming up. Playmobil's Ghostbusters video feature is coming out tomorrow around lunchtime. It's done. And then I'm working on a big thought piece about the importance of physical media and disc libraries for the consumer. That doesn't sound interesting, but I promise you it's coming from a personal place. It will be interesting, like some of my other video essays. And then I'm working on finishing up some big things. So I'm working on the final part of Robotech Part 4, where I talk about the toy line from Matchbox, and the second installment of MacGyver, in my MacGyver retrospective. And then finally, not to overtalk, but I'm going to be working on, of all things, how do I put this? Fright Zone tour. So it's going to be a Masters of the Universe tour of the Fright Zone. And for those of you who don't know much about my channel, Skeletor has been the character that takes people on tours of the different Masters of the Universe playsets. And he's done Castle Grayskull. Yeah. And so now he's finally going to have access to the Fright Zone. So we're going to be doing that.
That's always one I've been real good at. But, you bumble-headed fool. But yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun, actually. And I could listen to you talk all day long.
I appreciate that.
I might go watch one of your videos after this just to prove you a point to you. No, yeah, I can't wait to crack into those Ghostbusters. I just got those this last week here. And they have a terror dog in there.
Oh, the Build-A-Figure or whatever it is. That's awesome. I saw Venkman and Ray on shelves. I saw Venkman and Ray on shelves the other day. But
they have these in stores? I haven't seen them yet.
I only saw those two. They were just hanging there. It looked like it had been picked over.
Here's Dana.
Dana was the one that I really was interested in because her likeness looked pretty good.
It's okay.
Oh, okay.
It's not horrible. I mean, from proper angles, it's better. I mean, there's a lot of articulation in these. Yeah. And this is supposed to be like, skin, and it just kind of looks kind of goofy because of where the breaks are, but it's not too bad. And then you got a big chunk of the terror dog in there.
Nice.
And then like here's Ray.
Uh-huh.
Their likenesses are pretty good.
Yeah, I see the ecto goggles there. It's nice that they're giving each character sort of a signature accessory.
They got a lot of good accessories, and then there's the other piece of the dog. I thought these were supposed to have like beams with them, weren't they?
I would have thought that too. I would think it'd be a huge miss not to have the Neutrona wand beam, the proton stream.
One in the box.
Uh-oh.
Could be wrong. Maybe they don't.
Well, that's what made me upset with the 4 Mattel ones that they brought out a few years ago.
I have those too, yeah. And these are better looking than those, I guess. But I haven't had them in my hand yet to tell you, so I can't.
Right.
I don't know. I might have to pull those out of storage to compare them, but yeah. So I'll be checking out those too.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe if you can get your hands on them too, we can do something about it.
Okay. Good deal.
Let me know. So other than that, you guys need to check out Retroblasting. I've been spamming your I appreciate that. If you guys have not, I mean, I cannot recommend Retroblasting enough. Michael and Melinda do such great work over there. And who else is the rest on your crew?
It's Aaron Harper is Melinda's co-host on the podcast, and then we have 2 Timothys. We have Tim Witten, who runs our live streams when we do those on Saturdays. And then we have Timothy Ward, who is our administrator and moderator for Facebook and YouTube. And he actually lives in another state. But we have met him in person. He's a great guy. So,
all right, cool. Yep. So yeah, I just I didn't want to make it sound like you're the only one, and didn't want anybody else to feel like they're left out either.
I'm so tired, Tom.
You do it all by yourself.
Tired. Yeah, no, we have a good.
No wonder Vader doesn't have any arms. You worked him off.
But to be clear, I'm the only full-time retroblasting person. Everybody else just contributes their spare time. So
you're basically the face. You and Melinda are kind of the main two. Yeah. But there is a crew, so I just didn't want to make anybody feel like they were left out, especially if they're watching now, taking notes. Like, I'm going to get to Michael because he didn't say anything about me.
Yeah. They're waiting to figure out a good excuse to club me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So no, this has been a blast. A retro.
Thank you for including me in this retro blast.
The honor is mine. I was like, I'm worried you're not gonna have time to do it because it was such short notice, and I've been talking to you for a while trying to get something. Like I know I want to do something, but this is like, you know what? I got a little bit of time tonight. I'm gonna open these.
Yeah, you should, because they are the best looking reproductions Hasbro has made from vintage toys so far.
I would give them a solid 8 or 9 out of 10, definitely. Mm-hmm. If you get going on the scale that the originals are 10 out of 10, obviously.
Yeah. Dude, now I would have been totally happy though if they had made the proton streams removable for safety. I would have totally been cool with that, but they didn't do that.
Now it does look. Now looking at it, now that you say that, is at the base of the ones on the old ones is a little bit thicker at the bottom.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll be able to see this here.
Oh, no, mine's not like that at all.
That might help with not breaking so much.
Because it's not shaking around in the housing.
There is a little bit of like a lip that's a little bit bigger. You can't really see where it ends there, but
right.
I can feel it with my fingernail. Maybe that'll help them not break as easy. So if that's a plus, if that's what they did for the design, and hopefully, whoops, there he goes. Hopefully they did use a little bit better plastic than last time. Oh, no breakage.
Well, that's good. Yeah, it's because his stream actually went over the table edge and was hanging free.
I will give it. I have been bending it a little bit here, like I shouldn't be, but it does feel like it's a little bit more flexible.
Well, that's perfect then. Because these right here, back in the day, they said they had flex, but we all knew better.
No, this doesn't feel like the lighter. It feels a little bit more. They may have made an improvement on, and if that's the case, because I'm not going to sit here and bend these guys. I mean, no offense.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
But if I had to take a guess just from feeling them, I think they did. I think they did a little bit of improvement. I'm just not going to push it.
Right.
So.
Very wise.
So I'll give them points on that if they did. And other than that, I can't recommend them enough if you're a real Ghostbusters fan. I mean, like you said, though, if you have these already.
But you have to have them at, like, some people, they've got them, but it's like they're, 3 steps away from breakage, or they've taped part of it back together, or they've got figure mold growing in them or something.
Yeah, somehow, if that's the case, go for it.
Yeah, my 4, I broke my first Venkman, so I went and bought a second one, begged my father, which he rarely would do that. Went out, got a second one. Then we got the other 3 Ghostbusters, all in the original run before they changed the cord on the backpack. Not that I paid attention to that back then. And then I just treated them like fine china ever since I was 8. That's a long time. And so I didn't end up playing with the rest of the line because I thought, I don't want any more of these toys if this is what this is going to be like. So I'm just lucky in that respect. That's just luck. Yeah.
And that's that. I can admire that so much because I never had that kind of patience. If you've seen half my toys from that age,
well,
whatever.
When I played with a toy like a GI Joe or something, I wasn't trying to abuse it, but my toy would lose an accessory, break a thumb, paint would rub off, stuff like that. And I've still got those figures too. But that's because you can tell I felt comfortable playing with them. Whereas with the Ghostbusters, I was like, okay, I've been down this rodeo with Venkman once. I've got the 4 guys. I don't even want to mess with them anymore. Like, I'm just going to keep them over here and not touch them. And it's a wonder I even took them out of the package after the first break.
I think at one point when one of them broke on me, my mom took took the other end out and then like a piece of thread through. I just had like thread, and I would go like that.
Not a bad idea. So.
But you make do when you're that age,
Yeah, I think they look good, man.
Yeah, they do. Now I got to find a place to put them. But even if you're just buying them in the box, like I have the set in the box, what I'll probably do is eventually just display them in the box.
Yeah.
And these I'll just put with my other Ghostbuster toys that are open.
Yeah.
And those are I don't plan on keeping these in the box probably, but these I will.
Right.
Now, will they be worth anything? I don't know.
Well, this is the only run of them that they do. And I mean,
but like you said, those Masters figures, who'd have thought they would have gone up? And you're right, they're worth 2-3 times more sometimes.
Yeah, they are. And it's because the Masters of the Universe vintage figures are not the original ones. Were not future proofed. They didn't get lucky in their configuration for display collectability later because they have the rubber bands in their legs. Yeah. They also are prone to certain types of mold in the plastic. Their squishy heads can discolor. And so it's a lot of work to either find a minty one or refurbish one to get it to display quality. Whereas the Matty ones eliminate all of those issues and you got this beautiful figure, and people are just like, I'd rather have that than have that,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember like Andre, like we were just talking about the castle before. He found that and he's like, I'm buying it. And I'm like, my buddy's got 2 of the original vintage. I can get you cheap. He's like, I don't want those. I want this one. I was like, I don't blame you. I mean, I'm just saying. And I'm like, well, how much is it? And I think it was 300. He got it for, or 250.
Wow.
Get it. It's a deal.
Yeah, that is a steal.
And then with shipping, I think he got a pretty good deal on it altogether. But I can't remember how much it was. But yeah, I was like, then get it if it's that much, man. Like
that's sharp.
They're going for like 500 or something.
Yeah,
like that normally.
Yeah. I don't even want to know what Snake Mountain's going to end up going for secondhand. I don't even want to know. So.
No, because I'm sure they did less of those, like you said. But yeah, I think we've covered everything. Like I said, I didn't want to go too much longer than this. I just wanted to have a fun little stream, and I think we managed to do that. I think we earned a minimum effort puppy. I'm sure Michael will appreciate that. So let me get the minimum effort puppy out. Come on, where are you? There you are. There we go. We earned it. We got minimum effort out of it. I do have a maximum effort puppy, but I got to load him up here because I would actually have given this episode a maximum effort puppy. He's driving a boat.
Look at this. Somebody saying Tom Connors Jr. Is that retroblasting guy complaining about everything? No. No.
Hopefully he's kidding, because unless he just heard us talking earlier, maybe that's what he was joking about. No, I don't think he's complaining about anything. We were talking about how much we love these toys. Actually, if you want to be truthful about it, so and I'm glad. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and do much with them other than look at them. But I mean, you might catch me playing with them like Dark Helmet later.
Well, it's guilt free because they're brand new and they're also fresh plastic. They're not 35 years old. So,
I mean, yeah. I mean, do I need them? No, but I like them.
It's not. It's.
They give me a little bit of nostalgia. That's what counts, right?
So, well, that is what counts. Oh, he says, yeah, I'm kidding. Sure.
Well, then I guess.
Yeah. There's always one.
There is.
All right.
They love to come out and get you, don't they?
They always do.
Don't make me time you out, Skywalker.
That's how I ended up in Australia. So.
I test the rains down in Africa, though. Oh, Lord. All right, Michael. This has been a blast.
It's been a blast, man.
Like I said, and we have to do this again, and we'll have maybe a lot more toys next time, and maybe you'll have some to open too, it sounds like. So if you get a hold of those Ghostbuster toys or anything else, and you want to do something like this again, just let me know. Otherwise, I'll try and get a hold of you, and we'll set some up, and maybe we'll do this once in a while, and it'll become a kind of a semi-regular thing or whatever you want to call it. So where did I get that shirt? I get almost all my shirts actually from this place called Shirt Punch. They're a company in Canada, and they do a lot of great designs. Check them out if you're into them. I don't get anything from them, but hey, I tried. I was like, I plug your shirts all the time. It might still be available, but I got it like a year or two ago. So anyway, all right, man. You have a good one, guys, and we will catch you on the next stream. Take care, everybody.
Easy, guys.